Hello and welcome to Brewers Daily, part of the Fan Arch Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dave Gasper. Got to get a lot of stuff here on a Tuesday show. We got to look ahead to this series against the Diamondbacks that's going to be coming up. Also, we're about a month into the regular season since it started in late March, so now that we're a month in, let's do some check-ins on the season, who's hot and who's not, that kind of thing, and just kind of look at this group as a whole so far, because we're 1/6 of the way, really, essentially, through the regular season. It just flies by, doesn't it? It feels like we just had opening day. It feels like we just get out of the offseason, and all of a sudden we're 1 month down, 5 months to go in this regular season. So time keeps on ticking by with this group, but 1 month in, now you're kind of starting to see like enough of a sample size for a lot of these guys to maybe make some decisions for this group as well, because you got to give these guys a little bit of time in the early going, and have this team kind of figure out where they're at. Keep in mind, last year the Brewers really didn't hit their stride until late May, early June is when they really kind of started to kick it into gear there. The first 6 weeks really kind of were a struggle for that group. I mean, they were 4 games under 500. They were 21-25 at one point, and they were not looking great at all. It was a real struggle those first couple of weeks. And so this year, it hasn't quite been the same story, but it almost feels like it of late with the way that this team has been playing, because they started off incredibly hot, right? First 10 games, they went 8-2. It's like, oh man, this is great. Easy breezy to 95 plus wins once again for this group. But since then, they've kind of gone on a bit of a tough stretch. They lost 6 in a row. Then they won 4 in a row. So it's like, okay, maybe they're figuring it out. Then they lost 5 of 6 after that. And now they're on a 1-game winning streak, if you wanted to call it that, with the win on Sunday with Kyle Harrison there. So that's kind of really where they've been. They lost 6 in a row. You get some of it back by winning 4, but then you lose 5 of 6. And next thing you know, like all that ground goes back again. And the Brewers are sitting at 14-13. They are sitting in last place in the NL Central, tied with the St. Louis Cardinals. They missed an opportunity to gain some ground on the Pirates in the division race. And meanwhile, the Reds and Cubs have started off hot. Now, granted, again, it's only 1 month in. You can't win the division in April. You can lose it. However, with the position that the Brewers are in, I don't believe that they have lost it. Okay, I don't think that they've lost this division at all. They're still right there in the thick of it. There's still so much more baseball to be played. So I do feel good about where the Brewers are at from that standpoint. In terms of series, you talk about winning series, how it's not necessarily about sweeping, but you just got to win series, and as long as you continue to win series and stack those wins, you're going to be able to be all right at the end of the day. The Brewers are 5-4 in series so far. They've all been 3-gamers. They've all been 3-game series to this point. So the Brewers have won 5 of those series. They've lost 4 of them now. One of those series was, a sweep on the positive end. One of them was a sweep on the negative end. The others have all been 2-1 splits for this group. So that's how you kind of end up, pretty even, right around 500 here for the Brewers, and just being 1 game over and where they've been at. So a little bit of again, coming off of the 8-2 start, you're expecting kind of a bit more, that momentum to continue. It hasn't. They've struggled hitting the ball lately, as we've seen, as we've talked about here. Haven't had a home run in 10 days now. It's been a week and a half. It's been their longest stretch since 1999 without a home run. And that was the steroid era. Not that any of the Brewers were using, but that we know of. But anyways, it's just kind of been a struggle and a slog the past, week and a half for the really 2 weeks, 3, even if you want to go all the way back to Baltimore there. It's been a slog. So hopefully they'll be able to figure it out at some point here, get something over the fence, and get this group going, and get some more people in the who's hot category, right? Because we got to get into who's hot and who's not. And right now, I mean, you could kind of, if you want to talk about the offense, like just within the past, week or two, you could pretty much have everyone in the who's not category, right? With the numbers that they've put up and how this team has looked, it's hard to really say anyone's been hot so far. But still, Bryce Terang, William Contreras have been performing incredibly well. This last downturn for the entire team notwithstanding, they're still two of the best hitters that are healthy on this team right now. Again, it's hard to remain being good when you lose Jackson Chourio on opening day, you lose Andrew Vaughn the next day, and then a short while later you lose Christian Yelich. When you lose those three guys in your lineup, it's hard for anyone to get hot. But Turang and Contreras are basically the big threats in that lineup as they stand right now, and they have been performing the best of that group. You have the homers from Jake Bauers and Gary Sanchez, but the consistent on base threats there: Bryce Turang, William Contreras, Garrett Mitchell also up there in terms of an on base threat. He draws a ton of walks. However, he has also struck out a ton. So that is again something to continue to monitor for him. But also in the Who's Hot category, Kyle Harrison, as we talked about on yesterday's show, with what he put up on Sunday, striking out 12, allowing just one hit over 6 innings. He's been really, really good his first 5 starts here with the Brewers. So you love to see that. Jacob Misiorowski has been hot as well. Your opening day starter for this group, the numbers that he has put up for this team, it's been deserving of an opening day starter, right? 3.31 ERA in 6 starts, 51 strikeouts in 32 and 2/3 innings. I mean, he's handled the biggest workload so far of this entire group, and he's put the Brewers in some good spots to win games, keeping that ERA down. And you kind of wondered with Misiorowski, just kind of being in that sophomore year, would there be a sophomore slump? Would he kind of struggle? He does have the electric stuff, but how would it, continue with him being, asked to take on such a large workload this season, and he has held up pretty well so far here. So, I mean, Misiorowski and Harrison absolutely helping to carry this rotation here. And also, you could put Aaron Ashby in there. I mean, Aaron Ashby has appeared in 15 of the 27 games so far. Okay, he's appeared in over half of them, and he's got 5 wins, but still a 2.45 ERA with 18 and a third innings, 30 strikeouts in that. So he's been reliable. He has been used incredibly often, but so far he is maintaining production. We'll see if that continues as we get into August and September, if they continue to use him at this rate, because you may burn him out if you keep doing this to him. But still, those are the guys that are hot right now, I'd say, for this group. You could put Brandon Sproat into that category after a very slow start, a very cold start, but his last few outings have been good. Then in the Who's Not category, Angel Serpa is certainly who's not hot right now. He's given up runs each of his last couple of outings. His ERA has skyrocketed over 6, which is not great for a reliever. 6.39. He's appeared in 12 games. So he's started off with kind of a lot of hype around him. I mean, he struck out Ohtani in the World Baseball Classic. He was looking really good in spring, looking good early in the season, was getting some high leverage opportunities, but since has struggled a bit. And then also, who's not, could look just up and down the bottom of the batting order. Joey Ortiz is not. Luis Rengifo is not. Greg Jones is not. If you want to put Blake Perkins in that category, you can. I'll leave him out for now because he got a 2-out double or a 2 RBI double off of Tarek Skubal. But Greg Jones hitting a $133, Joey Ortiz hitting a $180, Luis Rengifo hitting a $173. Rengifo's got 75 at bats now. He has not been able to get going offensively. Joey Ortiz, 61 at bats, is yet to have an extra base hit this season. That's not good at all. Greg Jones, he's only got 15 at bats, but I mean, really, what more is there that you need to see from Greg Jones? You're not expecting much from him. Like any sort of base hit, any sort of getting on base is just gravy for him. But also 5 strikeouts in those 15 at bats, not good there. So that's a struggle. So those guys are certainly not hot. And the bottom of the order has really been going through it. And part of it is they're being asked to do more because you are missing Ajax and Chourio. You are missing Christian Yelich. You are missing Andrew Vaughn in that order. So when you're missing all those guys, you're relying a lot more heavily on Luis Rengifo, on Joey Ortiz, on Greg Jones, on a Blake Perkins. You're relying more on these guys, and more of them are in the lineup every single day. And that just puts the Brewers in perhaps a more disadvantageous spot. It puts these guys in a disadvantageous spot because that's not really the kind of role that they're meant to be in terms of that kind of big run production, relying a lot on them kind of role. But that's what they're in because they're missing 3 of their top hitters in this lineup. All right. I also want to talk about this because kind of the talk of baseball the past couple of days has been managerial job openings, namely the Boston Red Sox, who fired Alex Cora and half of his staff the other day. And so that has got talk going around the league of like, okay, so who are going to be the names to watch in this next hiring cycle? And Tyler Kepner of The Athletic put out, basically a piece writing, okay, these are going to be the names that are likely going to be the hot names to watch the next time we go through this whole hiring cycle at the end of the season. So it's still several months away. Okay, the Red Sox have their interim manager. They're not going to be hiring someone away from another team mid-season like that. That's going to have to wait until the offseason. But in terms of names to watch, Spencer Allen was listed from the Brewers by Tyler Kepner here. And that's a little surprising to me because it's not the assistant coach I would have expected to be on that list. But it's also not surprising in the sense that, he's got an impressive resume for Spencer Allen. He was a head coach at Northwestern from 2016 to 2021. Then he joined the Brewers organization as a field coordinator, quickly moved up to the Brewers director of player development. Did that for 2 seasons, and then this year they moved him to the on-field coaching staff in the big leagues. And he's coaching first base, and he's doing the base running and outfield coordination, and making sure these guys know how to steal bases, and they are leading the league in stolen bases, and getting that outfield positioning down right. So Spencer Allen does have a really strong resume. He's 48 years old, so he's still kind of on the younger side there. So he could get some opportunities as perhaps a major league manager. He's highly regarded around the league. Certainly, it seems like from here. Highly regarded within that Brewers organization, obviously. So that is an interesting possibility to see Spencer Allen listed as a managerial candidate. Now, the name that I probably would have thought would have been Matt Erickson, who does have also an extensive resume. He spent several years as the Brewers manager in High A, Wisconsin with the Timber Rattlers. Several years there. His work as an infield coach, infield guru is phenomenal, highly respected around the league. His work there. And moving up to third base coach here for the Brewers. He's someone that I think could potentially be a manager of the future as well. Very personable too, very energetic. I think a guy that would do great in that role. I think that's a possibility, but he was not listed among the names there by Tyler Kepner. I wonder if perhaps Erickson could be the heir apparent whenever it is that Pat Murphy wants to retire. Who knows when that could be? That could be years down the future. Murphy is like 70, but he is showing no signs of slowing down. So as long as he wants to manage, especially being the 2-time reigning manager of the year, that job's going to be his. But Matt Erickson's name I thought would have been out there. But Spencer Allen, he certainly has that respect, has that pedigree, and having that college experience, that pro player development side experience, and now the on-field coaching staff experience, that can really boost his resume even more. So keep an eye on Spencer Allen perhaps when it comes to interviews for managerial openings this upcoming offseason. All right, and finally here, just a look ahead to the Diamondback series. Brewers opening a 3-game set here at home against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And obviously, they got Ketel Marte as the best player on that group. And, in terms of the pitching matchups here for the Brewers, you've got Chad Patrick going here tonight. We'll see if the Brewers do another opener for Chad Patrick as they've done previously. But you got Patrick going tonight. You got Brandon Sproat going on Wednesday. And Brandon Woodruff, Big Woo, will pitch the matinee on Thursday. So that is how the Brewers have it lined up for their starters. And the Diamondbacks, it's a whole lot of TBD at the moment officially. So that's gonna wear out his arm there on TBD. But based on how it's looking and how things have tracked for that Diamondbacks rotation, it's looking like Merrill Kelly is going to get the start tonight. Eduardo Rodriguez is going to start on Wednesday, and Michael Soroka will get the start on Thursday for that matinee getaway game. So that's how it seems to be tracking. So you get Merrill Kelly, Erod, Michael Soroka. You miss Zach Gallen this time around, it looks like. The Brewers, it seems like every single time they face the Diamondbacks, they always get Zach Gallen. But it looks like they're going to miss him this time around, and he is instead going to pitch against the Cubs on Friday. So love to see that. But yeah, I mean, for the Diamondbacks, I mean, you got a couple of switch hitters there at the top of the order: Geraldo Perdomo, Ketel Marte. Then you got a lefty there in Corbin Carroll. So it really would not surprise me to see an opener for Chad Patrick. Just with how the Brewers have done it recently. I mean, when they are top flight lefties atop of the order for the opposing team, Pat Murphy has liked to use an opener there for Patrick. And so when it comes to Corbin Carroll, I mean, Corbin Carroll's a pretty good left-handed hitter. And you got Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo. I mean, they're switch hitters. So, I mean, they're going to be fine either way. But still, they could like him, one way versus another there. So we shall see what the Brewers end up doing. But that is something to keep in mind as well, because, I mean, they've got a pretty solid top of the order there. Diamondbacks 15-12 record on the season, sitting right in the middle of the pack of that NL West, 3.5 games back of who else? The Dodgers, who are 19-9 in that division. The Padres keeping pace at 18-9, but still, that is a brutal division to be in with the Dodgers and the Padres. For the Diamondbacks trying to keep pace there, but they got a pretty solid squad. Especially that top three in the order. You got Lourdes Gurriel after that. So, and also everyone's favorite former Cardinal, Nolan Arenado, is out there in Arizona as well. So he has the potential to cause the Brewers many headaches, a lot of headaches. I don't know. Either way, Nolan Arenado could be a problem, just because whenever he's facing the Brewers, he's always a problem. I don't care how old he is. I don't care how much he's been in decline the past couple of seasons. Nolan Arenado can absolutely be a problem for the Brewers because he has always been a problem for the Brewers. So, not looking forward to that. But at least, I mean, it's really just kind of, it's not 12 times a year or 19 times a year like it used to be facing Nolan Arenado. So, should be a fun series. I'm excited for it, and we'll be covering it here all week long as the games go on here on Brewers Daily. So be sure to subscribe and get notified when new episodes drop every single day. Follow it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you're so inclined, leave a review there for the show as well. Much appreciated. Also, follow me on Twitter at dgasper24. I'll have live tweeting, live coverage of events, what Pat Murphy's saying, what the clubhouse is saying. I'll have reports there as well. So follow me at dgasper24. Appreciate all of you watching and enjoying, and I'll see you again next time for another episode of Brewers Daily.